Welcome all you OGs out there, whether you're an online gamer, an original gangster, just an old geezer like me. This is Yuli 1961 for Old Gamers Never Die. And with the success of the How to Become an Oil Tycoon video that I just did, I figured there's still a whole lot of new people out there that might need some information on how to get Lotus, both the flowers and the seeds and the powder, because you're going to need it. Chapter 3 is coming up. You're going to need it for some potions there. You're going to need it to get through your sorcery if you haven't done that already. And, you know, going out and collecting lotus leaves, they're in some pretty sticky places. And you don't want to be going out there all the time. So I thought I'd build a little Lotus Den. We'll tour it later. But to start this video out, what I want to do is I want to go show you where to find each one of the lotus leaves. Then we'll talk about how to make sure that you have all the lotus leaves that you possibly could need without having to go back to all these dangerous places once you just go get them the first time. All right, sound good? Let's get started. Okay, well, the first lotus leaf that you're going to run into, more than likely, is the yellow lotus. It's pretty much all over Noob River. So anywhere along the banks here, all the way down on pretty much either side, but I'm sitting right here down around where the Guardians are. There's a lot down here. It's all over the place down Noob River. So just kind of be on the lookout for it. You can collect it by picking it. You can get a sickle and collect it that way. You use yellow lotus to create the yellow lotus potion, which is used to do your resets on your attributes and your knowledge. Be careful you're not resetting your stuff that you used scrolls for, because sometimes that kind of messes up. All right, so that's yellow lotus, very abundant and all along the river. Okay, so let's go to the next one. This one's a little bit more, well, dangerous. All right, the next one is crimson lotus, and you'll find this out here by the Mounds of the Dead. So especially down here in the little area below where the obelisk is. By the way, grab that if you haven't picked it up already so you can fast travel over here. They're pretty easy to get running through here without really running into very many bad guys. So you get up towards the actual buildings over there. Yeah, there's going to be some folks that might want to introduce you to their swords and axes. But down here, it's pretty easy. You just run around and grab as much as you want. All right, let's go to the next one. And here we are at the next spot for lotus. This one's the frost lotus. And, you know, it's fitting. It's in a very cold area. It's over here by the Bridge of the Betrayer. At the very end towards the Black Keep, you'll find lots and lots of frost lotus around the pylons of the bridge. So just run around, grab as much as you want. Make sure you bring something warm to wear, because it gets kind of chilly out here. Let's go to the next one. It'll be a little bit warmer. And here we have golden lotus. It's kind of warm here, I promise you. This is in the middle of a volcano. If you want to see where I'm at, I'm right about here. But you can kind of look around. You're going to want to make sure you're prepared to come in here. This is probably a later game situation when your character's leveled up some, because you're going to have a whole lot of people that are not going to be happy to see you. It's also going to be really hot in here. So be prepared as far as your temps and your armor and weapons, because there's a lot of bad folks in here. They're not very welcoming at all. It's hot in here, but hey, it's a dry heat. Let's go somewhere where it's a little bit more humid. Okay, yeah, it's kind of steamy in here. So this is where you find black lotus, and it can be found right here on the map. If you zoom in a little bit, you can see there's kind of an indentation right over here. This is where you want to be. And oh, by the way, bring a gas mask, because all that black haze down there is poisonous, and it will kill you if you don't have a sandstorm mask on. But all you need to do is put your sandstorm mask on, run down here, and grab as much as you possibly can. That's black lotus. The next one we're going to go look at is right down the river, so it's not very far. Let's go. Here we are at the purple lotus. This location is right here on the map, down by the eastern barracks, and you can pretty much run around in this little area here and you find plenty of purple lotus. All you need, just heck away. And now for the fun, because here's one that you're not going to find out running around out in the forest. You're going to have to go do some work. Well, let's go see where the gray lotus lives. Oh yeah. Yeah, remember this guy? If you haven't seen him yet, this is where you find Gray Lotus, and he's just hanging out waiting for you. This is in the sinkhole, so if you are off exploring and you find this place, this is where the bone dragon lives. If you've got star metal recipes, you can grab the recipe in here for the dragon bone armor. Dragon bone? Is that what it's called? I don't know. But yeah, you can grab that recipe while you're in here. You don't have to kill this guy to get to the Gray Lotus, but he's here. And you know, so are a lot of bad things. So be ready. But really what you want to do is you want to go over, run up the stairs here, run up the stairs here, and get to this area at the top. There's going to be some skellies up here. There's going to be some abominations. But if you can get down here, you can even climb down from up there. You got to be real careful to do it. But you can get down in this area here without getting killed from the drop. And just run around this circle. There's going to be boxes all over the place. And there you go. There's some Gray Lotus seeds. Just snag them. There's a bunch of boxes in here. So just run all the way around the circle. If you're really good and really fast, you don't even have to fight the skellies. They can't see me because I'm in creative mode. But depends on how fast you are. If you've got the recover corpse spell from your sorcery tree, then you can just run around here, grab a bunch of it, and then let them kill you. And then pull your body back at your base, and you'll have all this good stuff. Okay, so go around this little area and grab as much stuff as you can without getting killed. But what you're really looking for is those Gray Lotus seeds. You won't find Gray Lotus plants out in the area. You might find some flowers on some dead bodies or in some boxes, but you're only going to find the seeds or the flowers. You're not going to find them actually growing in the wild. All right, now what the heck do you do with them? We don't want to come back here every time. These guys are mean. This guy's really mean. You don't have to fight him every other day. So what do we do with all this stuff? Let me show you how you can keep your lotus farm going without having to come back out here, grabbing these seeds, grabbing the flowers all over the place. There's some really dangerous areas. You don't want to be going in there all the time. So let's go back to my little den. Here we are back home, where I built my little basement lotus factory. I am at right back here where we talked about purple lotus, back at the Eastern Barracks. And you know, you can build here. It's cool. At least I think it turned out cool. You got to fight these guys, and there's the Imp King, and he's just a one skull. He's not that bad. He's not bad at all. But if you come over here, you'll find my little apothecary shop. So come on, I'll show you around. My underground lab. Yeah, you know, I've got my product down here. I don't want anybody messing with it, so I have a few guards. Ladies, how we doing? Everything cool? Awesome. Go. We're home. This is my Lotus factory. You know, if you want to see how I built it, let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to do a video. Yeah, these things always, for me, grow organically, and I kind of put them together as I go. But we could go back and do a video on it. But you can build under this little area, under the stairs, and it's a lot of room down here. Okay, so what are we going to do? We are going to build a Lotus factory, and this is how you're going to do it. You've got the seeds. Remember, we got our seeds. We have Gray Lotus seeds, and we'll put them in there. All right, now I can put compost in here because, you know, we talked about this in the Oil Tycoon video. Use seeds and compost makes flowers. But if you put compost in here, grab some compost. Nothing happens, because for the lotus seeds you need potent compost, and that will make the lotus seeds grow. Pop that in there and boom, we're making flowers. Right? So to make the potent compost, you see, there's no recipe in here to make it. This is the secret. Okay, so to make potent compost, this is what you need. You're going to need raw ash, and you're going to need regular compost, and you're going to need blood. Just regular blood. How do you get blood? Well, blood's pretty easy. All you'll need is these presses, and then you're going to squish stuff. And you can squish heads, that you take off of corpses, and you'll get some blood. You can squish carcasses, and you get some blood. And you can squish human flesh, and you'll get some blood. The other thing it's going to give you is bones, which you're going to need for the front end of this process. So to make this potent compost, you're going to need blood. You're going to need regular compost. And of course, to make regular compost, you have to have the components we have over here, which is fiber, rotten meat, and bone meal. And see, there goes our bones. Grind them up, make the regular compost. And then you come over, you can make it in the same one. I just have them separated so to make it easier to see. You take your compost, your blood, and your raw ash, and that gives you your potent compost. Now, where do you get raw ash? I didn't see it anywhere. Every once in a while, I get some out of a box. But where do I get that? Well, the place you get that is by mining obsidian. And where do we find obsidian? Well, you might have seen it while I was running around, but obsidian is in the volcano. So we're going to go back to the volcano really quick. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you not only where to get it, but how to get the most out of your trip when you go up there. Because, you know, there's a trick to it. There's always a trick to it. Let's go. Okay, here we are. But Yuli, you said we were going to the volcano. Well, you can do that. There's lots of obsidian in there. But if you come up here past the Black Keep and you follow the road of the pilgrim or the road of the righteous, you're going to find a lot of obsidian through here that you're not going to have to fight a whole lot of people for. Yeah, you know, there's some stuff, right? Because if you look out here, there's saber-tooth surrounding this area. It gets really cold, but if you start up the path here, you're going to see lots of obsidian nodes. And about the only thing you're going to have to fight as you're going up here is some snakes and some rock noses. Not a lot of humans to mess with. See, here we go. There's some obsidian. Now, how do I get the most obsidian for the time I'm here? The first thing you're going to think of is, well, let me use a pick. So what I've done is I have star metal tools. So they're all the same. They're all star metal. They're not legendary. They're not special tools. But I'm going to show you the difference that each tool makes in getting ash versus all the other stuff. Because there's two things you want to do. You want to get as much raw ash as you can while you're here. And the other thing you want to do is you want to get it done as quickly as you can so you can get back to the other stuff that you're doing. Okay? So let's start with the pick. So I'll go in here to this node. I'm going to hack away. I'm going to get a bunch of obsidian. A little bit of raw ash. All right, and I've got this at vanilla rate, so this is what I'm getting. Don't have any boosted rates. So I got 116 obsidian and 10 raw ash with a pick. Okay? All right, so let's kick this out. Now, with a hatchet, another node over here. Right, what do I have here now? I have 12 raw ash, so I get a little bit more raw ash. First was 10, and I'm not picking up the obsidian, which is heavy. Okay, so if I'm looking to move fast, I don't want to get my weight up so far. So far, the hatchet is better. All right, we'll dump that on the ground. Go to another node. Get another big one. All right, so here we go with a pickaxe. So, you know, you get up there and you want to use pickaxe because that's the best of both worlds, right? So we'll hack away a little bit. We're going to get goldstone, obsidian, crystal, more obsidian. What do we get? We got no ash. You will get some ash, but you're also picking up everything else. You're picking up crystal, you're picking up gold, you're picking up obsidian, and that gets heavy fast. So pickaxe is actually worse than the pick or the axe. Right? Let's go up to a nice, healthy looking node up here. Follow the path. And we'll use our next tool. Let's try. This makes people cringe. We're going to use a cleaver. Because, you know, something you want to slice meat up with is exactly what you want to use on obsidian. Hard, glassy type objects. Well, let's do it. Let's see what happens. Okay, I got 6 raw ash with the cleaver. There's a little bit less. I did not pick up anything but crystal and ash. Go to another obsidian vein, and then we're going to try our last cutting tool, and that is the sickle. Let's go up to this one right here. Now I realize all these are not exactly the same size, but using the sickle, you will get raw ash. Now, I got 10 raw ash, 2 nodes, and I got a little bit of crystal. So what I'll tell you is I've run this thing several different ways up and down this hill. You will get much more raw ash by using the cleaver than anything else. It sounds kind of contradictory that a cleaver would do more than a pick, but that's the way it works. I encourage you to try it yourself and try different things, but the thing that moves the fastest is the sickle, because not only are you not picking up the obsidian and gold and everything else that's going to increase your weight while you're trying to do it, but you can swing the sickle pretty fast. And the cleaver has got this thing where you got to kind of be lined up right, because I can go up here with the cleaver and I can, like, that one will cut, that way it'll cut, and I'm not getting anything over there. You just gotta, you've got that animation going, you've got to do the thing. And yeah, it just, to me, it's, maybe it's just me, it's my opinion, but with the sickle, I can run through and just hack at stuff a lot faster. I may not get as much as I would with the cleaver, but I can move a lot faster. And when I'm in here, I want to be moving fast. I want to get what I need. I want to get the heck out, because there's some, like I said, bad people at the top of this hill. But if you just do this run up and down this road, you're not going to run into a lot of bad guys. You're going to run into some rock noses. You're going to run into some snakes. But that's about it. And you can get your ash pretty quick, pretty easily. Just, you know, got to manage the temperature, because it's cold getting up here and it's hot as you get up further up the hill here. So what are we going to do with all this stuff? Well, let's go back to the lab. Ooh, we got some lotuses to make. So here we are back at the lab. Now, the cool thing about using the sickle and getting you a really good one is not only can you use the sickle on the obsidian as you're going around collecting that, but it's a great tool for using on the actual lotus flowers themselves. Because if you're over here and you're just going to hand pick, you're going to get a flower. What, I get one? Yeah. When you use the sickle, you're going to get a little bit more, 14 flowers off of one plant. And you also might pick up some seeds. So the sickle, to me, is the tool to use when you're doing this whole process, whether it's trying to get raw ash, whether it's getting the lotus flowers and seeds. Again, the only place you're going to find a gray lotus is the seeds in the sinkhole. But once we get in here, this is where the magic happens. I didn't get all this stuff for nothing. There's lotus stuff growing everywhere. Okay, so here's the deal. This is what you want to do. You want to get your raw ash and start this process with the potent fertilizer. So we're going to dump this raw ash that we got in there, and it's going to make a bunch. But the other thing you want to do is you don't want to just go out and try to get flowers to grind down to get powder for potions, because if you do that, then you're always going to get in flowers. So what you do is you go and get the flowers, and just like we did when we're making oil, we're going to dry the flowers out. So I got 45 flowers, okay? So if I put the flowers in my drying rack and hit on, I'm going to make 14 seeds. Well, every seed is going to give me 5 flowers. So that's, let's see, 5 times 14. I'm not a good math person. 5 times 14 is 70. Okay, so I get 70 flowers out of these seeds. I'm going to take those 70 flowers, I'm going to divide them in half. I'm going to put 35 back into the dryer. And the rest I'll put into the grinder to make powder. That way I'm always making more seeds to make more flowers, to split in half to make seeds and powder. And I never have to go back out there and get more flowers because I'll always be growing them in here, and the process will just keep going. So the only thing I've got to keep going out and getting is blood. I've got to keep making regular compost, and I got to keep going out and get raw ash. And then I've got a constant supply of lotus flowers to make whatever potions I want. So this way, now that I have the seeds in my inventory, I can start managing the process. Now, maybe when you first get started out, especially with the gray seeds, the gray lotus seeds, you might want to just dump them all in here and plant as many as you get, and then dry them out and and get seeds and plant them again instead of grinding them out straight off the bat. You're going to need it for some of your stuff for Sorcery's Path, but go ahead and get enough seeds where you can really start getting this thing going, or else you're going to be back in the sinkhole. You just don't want to keep going over there. But seeds in the planter, get your flowers, half ground, half into the drying rack. You'll get seeds that go back into the planter, and you'll get more flowers. And then you don't have to go back out there. You don't have to go back to the sinkhole. You don't have to go back to the volcano. You don't have to go back to the Mountains of the Dead. Whatever kind of lotus you want to grow, you're set. You just keep growing them. Just keep separating out those flowers so you're not always grinding up all of your flowers, and you'll have plenty of lotus supply yourself, your potions, and, you know, for your tribe, your group of folks, your people that you play with who maybe are needing some of that stuff. Because chapter 3 is coming, and when chapter 3 gets here, you're going to need it for some of the potions that come along with that, and, you know, you'll gotta have them. The new purple lotus knockout juice that's coming in chapter 3, yeah, you're gonna need lotuses. Now it says you need black lotus for that right now, but I got a feeling that's just for the test, and they're gonna be making a purple lotus because there's lots of purple lotus. I don't know, maybe they'll leave it black just because it's harder to get. Get you a good sickle, go out and collect some lotuses. You know where to go get them now. Get as much as you can, bring them to your base, drop them in the dryer, make some seeds, take the seeds and put them in your planters and make more flowers. Dry the flowers out, make more seeds, and when you get enough where you've really got a good crop going, take half of your flowers, grind them up, and you're ready to go for all your potions that require lotus. Okay, well, hopefully that helps you out. I really appreciate you watching the videos. Thank you so much for coming out here. And if you enjoy hanging out, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Wander in the digs here a little bit. But yeah, if you enjoy the videos, make sure you hit the like button. It really does help me out with all the YouTuberisms out there. And hey, if you want to come out and hang out with the OGs, we have a Discord going. Come on out. The link is in the description. And talk about video games. Talk about Conan. We have Conan servers. We have ARC servers. And, you know, we've always got something going on. And hey, if you really enjoy the content I put out here, please don't be afraid to hit that little white tic-tac down there and subscribe to Old Gamers Never Die. It really does just kind of warm my insides when I see how many people actually subscribe to the channel and come watch our videos. It really tickles me to death, and I really appreciate it. And hopefully it's because you're learning something that's helping you out in the games. I realize a lot of this stuff, if you've been playing a long time, you might already know, but hey, there's a lot of new people coming in, and I want to make sure the new people know how to play the game as well. If you've got comments or some other suggestions on how to do this better, please make sure you drop those in the comments below, because hey, it helps us all out, and it helps us all get better. Okay, well, y'all have a great day. Thank you so much for coming out watching. Y'all take care, be good, stay safe, and this is Yuli signing out.